Alright, welcome back for part 2 of the Town of Light. Alright, let's see, where are we? Alright, looks like nothing down this way. Where are we? Yeah, look at all these nasty old beds. This is where the doll was. Whew. I don't know how much audio goes into YouTube, but wearing a headset I hear all kinds of little things. Let's see, so all these doors look like they're open now. What's this?
He felt accused, hurt. I chased him away. I insulted him. He was proud, handsome. He said things about me to other people, which he shouldn't have said. Mother caught me coming home drunk. She beat me and sent me to speak to Don Gino every day. He came back and tried to speak to me. I think he liked me. Sometimes I sent him packing and I started shouting at him. But other times I embraced him. I held him tight and loved him. But he couldn't bind himself to me. I was 16 and ill. I had no future. I didn't get out of bed for weeks. Then I did things I was ashamed of. I slept with men. The guilt tore at my soul. And the light came back to torture me. I invented stories to justify my actions. I couldn't bear my own weight. Mom found out about it. Her voice split my head. I pushed her away because I was afraid of dying, and I shouted to the whole world what was happening to me and that I didn't understand. The police arrived and they carted me away. I remember the onlookers shaking their heads. They would be better off without me, cleansed of shame, with something to talk about for a while.
Alright, that's interesting. And that one's locked. That one too. Oh, I see. There's names on these. Dear Director, I have been working at this institution for 5 years now. I'm a simple person. I'm not educated and feel embarrassed about writing to you. I feel, I always try to look on the on the bright side, but sometimes we are called upon to do difficult things. That's our duty, and I well understand and accept it. There is no alternative. However, I have decided to write to you because something is happening which is simply unacceptable. I am well aware that there is someone among us who devotes too much attention to the younger female patients, who are confused. The serious nature of this fact has compelled me to write to you. I am certain of your indignation and of the measures you will adopt to solve the problem. Please accept my warmest regards and respect. Let's see, did these all have names on them? That one was the David one. No name. Oop, had to turn on. What's this one over here? Let's see here. Volterra School for Nurses. According to Art 24 of the August 16th, 1909, number 616 regulation for the implementation of the February 14th, 1904 N36 SI law on insane asylums and patients. The present certificate of suitability for the asylum nurse is issued to name and surname who has, in the exams taken on date, month, year, obtained a score of XX points on 30 Volterra on May 12th, 1912, the director. Okay. Your name unlocked. Thought I saw something on the top shelf. I wanted to show me the name. Alright, so nurses' lockers. Oh, okay, yeah, so I'm at the nurses' room number 1. And that appears to be open all the way down. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Yeah, I came from that way. Bunch of pillows. Very creepy. Kind of expect pop scares in here, or jump scares, whatever they call them. I was just looking to see if there's a light switch. I think we've been in that room already.
She stayed with Renee during those terrible medical examinations, and that gave her the strength to survive.
Alright. If you had a camera on me, you would have just seen me jump about 5 feet. I swear I'm hearing stuff move around occasionally. Tell you, if you ever want a good experience in a horror game, wear a headset while you're playing it. And we're back out into the front area. Are these still locked? Yeah, these are still locked. Yeah, we've been in there. The front door is closed. Every time I walk through that spot, the controller vibrates. Does it actually say anything? Oh, I just remembered something. Was this something I could click on? Okay, I didn't do that the last time. I wasn't sure if it would trigger a flashback or something. Ward 2 with calm women. That is locked too. Don't like that elevator. That wheel's always rotating. I don't know what that sound is. Oh, what the heck is this?
August 21st, 1938. Confidential. Dear A, I know what you think about these things, so I'm referring a patient to you, Renee T. This wretched girl got out of control and caused trouble in the grounds. She's almost 3 months pregnant. The nurses should be more alert. I'm examining the girl on the 28th. I'll handle things very carefully, don't worry. We don't want to make matters worse. Then they said that Renee was crazy, and that the illness was all in her head. Careful, little girl, careful. I was scared, and I didn't talk to anyone about the illness. Only her. Not even the other doctor. He never touched Renee. He just wrote things down. You can tell me everything. Don't be afraid, he said. Everything's going to be fine. Do you want to know what I'm writing? I note down what I observe in you, everything I see. He didn't hate Renee. He tried to help her, but he rarely examined her in those small surgeries.
Well, that whispering I hear in my ears drives me nuts. Oh. Alright, enough looking at that. I wish I'd turned that on sooner. She's back. That's locked. Surgical or discipline level. Where was I just in? Over here. Ah. That explains it. These doors are open. Oh, what's this?
My name is Renee. They told me that I have to write this diary, but I don't feel like it. It's not true that I feel better when I write. Actually, it's worse. I was a shy girl, and I just wanted to be like the others. But that's not what happened. No. I did things that, when I think about them now, eventually brought me here.
I wonder what else she tried to write on that page. She scribbled a bunch out. Oof.
Everything started with that damned light. It happened for the first time when I was still a little girl. I was 6 or 7. I was walking outside school when suddenly the noise started to melt into an indistinct rumble. The light increased out of all proportion and everything lost its meaning. I could no longer recognize anything. Objects, people, words, not even myself. I felt fear as a physical sensation. It prevented me from moving, from swallowing, from breathing. After God knows how long, everything went back to normal. But a new fear replaced the old one. Different, but terrible. Of the light coming back. And it did come back.
Some interesting artwork in here. I can't quite make out what's being written underneath everything that she just read. That doesn't help any. And we've already seen these pages, so let's get back to exploring. That's locked. Dot.
June 1935. After much theorizing and practice in clinics for the privileged, the moment for action has finally arrived. Volterra is the right place. It's an avant-garde hospital, the perfect place for a doctor who really wants to make a difference. November 20th. Crossing the threshold of the asylum was similar to entering another dimension. A world of smells, noises, and images which it is almost impossible to imagine, describe, or explain. August 1936. The situation is similar to that in many other institutions. The department is overcrowded. Hundreds of patients are supervised by a handful of nurses who are forced to tie the more distressed ones to their beds or to radiators. They do 24-hour shifts. It's impossible to work like this. We doctors rarely see the female patients, and it's the nurses who tell us what's happening to the women. The overpowering stench in the wards, the constant din of shouts and voices that are barely recognizable as human, dirty, naked bodies devoid of any dignity. The lunatic asylum gets under your skin and wears you down. I often consider resigning. I feel useless, impotent, a sort of merciful jailer, a mercy that helps no one and only helps to ease my conscience. March 15th, 1938. Dramas are played out before my eyes every single day, and I try to distance myself from them and just do the best I can. But a girl arrived some days ago. I couldn't avoid her gaze. All she asked in her dignified silence was not to be ripped away from her world. And me. I'm old enough to be her father, the father she never had, who didn't want her, who rejected her without even knowing her. I, too, refused what she asked me. I couldn't do anything but add my signature and consign her to hell. A danger to herself and to others, and a cause of public scandal. This was what was written on the accompanying note from the police headquarters. It was difficult not to agree with it. How much more violence must this poor girl be subjected to? Her gaze is so intense, so far removed from the carefree nature which should be the joyous hallmark of her age. I cried myself to sleep in my solitude. I kept thinking about those sad and frightened eyes staring at me.
Oh, it doesn't tell us whose paper that was. Admission and personal details document. Charity Congregation Psychiatric Hospital. Number 6530, object. Damia Servio? Father Gino? Mother Cynthia Maria? Marital status is married. Married to Fiandre Endale. Widower of Item. 5 children. 13/9/83 is the date of birth. Birthplace Monteon. Resident municipality Monteon Province. Frienze. Profession is butcher. Economic conditions poor. Religion Catholic. Address for correspondence Montreal. I kindly request your illustrious excellency to kindly convey this address any information regarding the insane Damia Savio, son of the deceased Serio, and Constantine Maria, blah blah, age 53, admitted to this institute on 19 VI 36, the director. What's the surgery C? Surgery B. So these are all the doctors. Now let's see. So surgery room C. No idea what that says. Yeah, looks like his diploma. Oh, lovely. Used medical supplies. Yeah, let's just pick those up and play with those. I feel like I need a tetanus shot. That is one neat looking old-fashioned phone though. Is this a thing? Doesn't look like it. And of course, the little Dr. Hammer thing. Doesn't look like there's anything there to interact with. Brains. So he must be the neurosurgeon. That's disturbing. Alright, I've seen enough brains for one zombie flick. What is this weird graffiti? Weird. Okay, let's see what this thing is.
March 12th, 1938. Renee T., 16 years old. Menstruation at age 12. Housewife. Father unknown. Mother a seamstress. Admitted in observation yesterday morning from Pontedera, accompanied by a police officer authorized by the examining magistrate of the Court of Pisa to be admitted for a psychiatric evaluation, which I have carried out. Medical certificate. Mental illness preceded by warning signs. Has suffered from depression for a year, believing she had tuberculosis. Food deprivation. We can't read this document. It is forbidden. We mustn't. If they find out, there will be trouble.
It talks about Renee. It talks about you. We have to read it. Don't be scared. Nothing will happen to you. That's true. We should not read it. I'm seriously starting to wonder if we actually are that little doll. Or the figure that is supposed to inhabit it. I think A talks about Renee, talks about you. We have to read it. I wonder what that means.
Have you ever wondered who you are? Yes, of course you've wondered.
Relative? Maybe your child? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm here for you. That would be an interesting proposition. I'm not using that word right. Could you be a relative? If you're the child. You know, I don't even want to know what they would have done to a child birthed from a person in an insane asylum. That's strange. We're gonna go save.
Will you help me to understand? To escape this dazzling light inside me that stops me from seeing?
Of course, we'll turn off all the lights together. How can I help you if you don't want to be helped? Tough call. I feel like being a little crazy. Of course, we'll turn off all the lights together. I wonder what that means.
She is frightened, hears noises and ghosts, presents serious signs of anxiety psychosis, suffers from hallucinations. She is anxious, confused, her expression is distressed, a questioning look as if terrified, disoriented. She feels confused, hears voices shouting in her head. She doesn't understand things properly. She has been feeling unwell for 2 or 3 months. When questioned, she replies, "My mother wants to hurt me. I am always scared of her. She chases me." "Why are you here?" "I argued with my mother and was so upset that I felt like my head was spinning. There was a woman there who wanted to force me into a life of prostitution. They wanted to condemn me to be burned at the stake. Children whispered, called my name." March 16th. She couldn't sleep last night. They wanted to condemn her to be burned at the stake. April 4th. Transferred to the calm ward, still under my supervision. Yes, that's true. The ward where Amara was. Yes, the stake. The children wanted to burn Renee. She had to pay for what she'd done, like witches at the stake.
Was this what frightened you? They were just hallucinations. What had you done to deserve to be punished? I like how 2 of them are kind of probing for questions. probing with questions, and then one's just like telling you. So those other symbols that pop up after these choices, I wonder if that has to do symbolizing me and symbolizing the voices? What do I do? Let's go with C. What had you done to deserve to be punished?
April 21st. She's more awake this morning and is responding to questions, complains of headaches. She became agitated when she found out her mother was there. She says that one day, many years earlier, she was with a friend of hers and met a man who made her get into a car and took her for a ride. He made her smoke cigarettes and drink liquor, and the man showed her certain things. He tried to hurt her and made her go crazy. She says he promised to marry her and made her swear to keep what had happened a secret. These facts were essentially confirmed by her mother. After that, she became arrogant, impatient, and hostile towards her family, especially her mother. She started taking off her clothes in public. Her moods would swing from laughter to tears. She rants. She pleasures herself. I can't remember these things, only the guilt, the stake. I know I deserved to pay for that guilt. I knew it even then.
Let's look for the rest of the clinical diary to understand. Everything will become clear. You deserve it because you tried to hide it from yourself. That sounds like the voices talking to you in your head. All of these feel like voices in her head. Which one do we do? We'll go with B. Everything will become clear.
Amara, she was good. Let's look for her. What else can we do?
Go on. I guess it's the only choice I've got. First clues was the trophy I just got. I am going to end today here. So, thank you again for joining me on this crazy trip. See you next time.